Hey guys, Mike from LB Music School here. Thanks for tuning in. I want to teach you guys a pretty popular song that's pretty popular for beginners especially. It's going to be Free Fallin' by Tom Petty. So there's a couple iterations to play Free Fallin'. One way is a little bit easier of a way to play. It's just using a D chord and switching the notes on our E string while still forming the basis of the D chord, if that makes sense. The other way is to use three different chords, those chords being G, A, and D. So first off, I'll show you the easier way to play it. So the first thing we're going to need for the song, because it's not in a quote-unquote open chord key, you know, like being in our standard position, open chords over here, is we're going to need a capo. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our capo on the third fret of the guitar. So you got that planted. You want to make sure that it's in tune. When you use a capo, you want to make sure that it's dead center. I don't know if you can see that. Dead center between the frets, parallel to the fret bars. Because if you have it kind of like this, you're going to get a little bit out of tune. So you want to make sure it's parallel to your fret bars. So the first thing we're going to do is make a D chord. And this is pretty simple. We're going to make that D chord and have the diagram up there, but you guys probably remember what it is already. We're going to take that D chord and our first chord is going to be the open D. The next chord is going to be putting our pinky finger on the third fret. Now what I mean by the third fret is 1, 2, 3 from the capo. When we're using a capo, we're going to assume that the capo is going to be open. What I mean by that is if our capo is pushing down on this fret, it's acting as like the bridge note of the guitar. So we can kind of eliminate these frets over here and assume that open will obviously just be the open string as we would play it without using our fretting hand. So getting back to the chord, we have a D. We're going to put our pinky finger right underneath our ring finger and play the third fret on the E string. And then we're going to descend back down to a D and then play an open E underneath the D chord. So basically the motion underneath the D chord is this. So if you put it all together, we have 2 on the E, 3 on the E, 3, 2, open, while maintaining that D chord. So 2, 3 with the pinky, 3 with the pinky, back to 2, open. Do it again. Pinky, pinky, middle, open. Or 2, 3, 3, 2, open. So Tom Petty plays that exact part over and over again. What we call that in music is an ostinato. Ostinato means that throughout a song or throughout a section of a song, a larger section of a song, we have the same pattern that plays continuously throughout the whole section of the song or the whole song. So this is a great example of that. Now I want to take a look at a little bit harder of a way to play, but we'll be using the same open chord shapes that we've been using from here on out. So let's take a quick look at that. Our second little iteration of Free Fallin', we're going to use these three chords. We're going to use D, A, and G. The full progression sounds like this. So I'm using D. Our first chord is going to be D. We got open D, second fret, third fret, second fret. Again, remembering that our capo is our open. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth, but we're only obviously in this area over here. So open D, second fret on the G, third fret on the B string, second fret on the E string. So we're going right to a G chord. 3, 2, open, open, 3, 3, like we've seen before. So we're going to play that G a little early on what we call an upbeat. So it's going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, and that'll be kind of the timing of it. Good to count along with that just to get a sense of rhythm, make sure you're on time with your chords. So again, it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Put some time in between, put a measure of rest. just to help with the transitions. 2, ready, and 1, 2, again, go. And 1, 2, one more time. So next transition of chords is gonna be D to A. So this is like the little second half of this progression. We're gonna go D, A, and follow the exact same strumming pattern as the previous one. So 1 and 2, and put some rest in between. D, A, measure rest 1, 2, ready, and D, A, 1, 2, ready, and one more time. D to A. And real quick, as you noticed, I don't know if you were paying attention, but I was playing my A a little differently than what we've done before. So with this particular transition, you know, obviously the A chord isn't really one of the harder chords to play. It's pretty easy. We're all on the same fret on adjacent strings. Obviously open, 2, 2, 2, open. I like to call this the rock and roll A. What I do is I bar the 2nd fret all the way down to the B string with my pointer finger, and I still play the open A. When you think about it, it's the exact same chord with just a different fingering, and well, in this case, we're only using one finger. So that's another option for an A chord. So the whole progression is going to sound like this. It's going to look like this too. So D, G, D, A, D, G, D, A. A few more times. Last time. Do it one more time. So there's a couple easy ways to play Free Fallin'. Like I said, they're both in the original key of the song, so if you do want to put it on Spotify or YouTube or whatever, when you play along, it'll be in the same key. It'll sound nice together. If you have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.